Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today I am going to be doing a build that I have called Autumn Abode, and this is in honor of the announcement last week that the Sims 4 seasons will be coming out on June 22nd of this year, which is just like totally crazy to me. I can't believe it's coming out so soon. I mean, like, honestly, I don't hate this like short cycle between like announcement and release. I mean, it would be nice to get a little bit of an advance notice sometimes, but like, this makes waiting so much easier because it's like, oh, we have to wait like what, a month at most? That's not bad. I can wait a month. I can handle that. So anyways, I know today I should be doing a Create a Sim video as part of my Fill the World Create a Sim challenge, but I couldn't come up with a family that I wanted to make for the next house. And so I was like, I really want to build. I was just, after the season's announcement last week, I was like, I just want to build a pretty autumn themed house. And in case you guys didn't realize it, or in case you don't have cats and dogs, in the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, there are actually some trees that have like autumn leaf colored swatches on them. So I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, we don't have a ton of trees that look like autumnal, fall-like, there we go. But we have a few, so I was like, okay, I can make this work. I can work with this. So I just wanted to build like this cozy little family cottage house type of thing, like a little cabin almost. That, you know, would just sort of be like kind of secluded. It's on one of the lots in Brindleton Bay that's kind of set back a little bit from the road, and it's surrounded by trees which also actually have a lot of the autumn colors on their leaves as well. And I just thought this was just a cute little house. So obviously I went with the autumn theme, so everything is very like warm and cozy. The color palette is very like warm in tone, so there's lots of browns and tans and reds and oranges and yellows. And yeah, so I don't know, I really enjoyed this house. And I personally love autumn or fall, whatever you want to call it. I've actually heard somewhere recently that like apparently people in the US only say fall and we don't say autumn. And I was like, really? I'm from the United States and that's not true. Like, I don't know where people are hearing that out, but I don't know. I use both. I say both interchangeably, actually. Sometimes I say fall, sometimes I say autumn, sometimes it just depends on how lazy I feel like being. But anyways, so I really love autumn. It's such a pretty season. I got married in autumn, which, in case you didn't realize, the 10/18 part of my username is my wedding anniversary. So October 18th, because, you know, America, we put the numbers in that order. But yeah, it's such a snuggly, warm, cozy kind of season. I mean, it's not really warm. It's warm in tone, not in temperature, which is perfect because I don't like being hot. I hate being hot. It is like the end of May. Keep in mind, okay, so I live in Ohio, right? In April, we had snow. We had snow 3 separate times in April in Ohio, which is very unusual. It is now like the last week of May, and it is 90 degrees outside. It is Fahrenheit, that is. It is so hot. I'm like, I don't know what happened to spring. Like, we just totally bypassed spring altogether here. And I don't know. I don't even know what happened to it. It's just like, whoop, gone. No more spring. But, so yeah, I like autumn because autumn is like spring, but in the fall. And we still have autumn here. We don't really get spring anymore, but we still get an autumn, and I like it. And I don't know, it's an interesting season because there's a lot of changes that are happening, and like it starts to get cooler in the evenings, and like the air starts to dry out a little bit, which is like not great for like people with bad sinuses and allergies such as myself. But I don't know, it just makes everything feel like crisp and exciting, and it makes me realize like, oh, the holidays are soon like coming around the corner, like, and that just makes me so excited. It's like I don't know, I love holidays and I love spending time with my family, And that happens year round, but it does tend to happen the most during like fall into like early winter. And so I don't know, I just like autumn, you know? There's no real good explanation for why. I just like it. So yeah, so this house, I obviously on the inside stuck with the warm color palette as well. I wanted to use the stuff from the Cool Kitchen stuff pack for the kitchen, which isn't a kitchen set I use very often. But I figured because so much of this house was going to be very traditional looking, that to have something that was like a little bit modern but not like super, super modern would be a nice way to kind of mix things up a little bit. It's not supposed to be like a very old house or anything. It's kind of like, honestly, the style of it is something that would probably have been built like in the last 40 years or so, I would say, in the United States. I mean, honestly, it doesn't look that different from most of the houses in my area, which were all built between like the late 60s to the early 80s. So I wasn't trying to be like super modern, which this does bring me to a beef that I have with the game, and I've had with the game for quite some time, is that we need better couches. All of our couches are very stylized, and like there's no like really homey looking couches. Like, I'm sorry, the couches that came with like Parenthood, I'll give them the couches from Cats and Dogs. Those are good, but there's not very many swatches of them, and they're all very like pastel and colored, or they have like strange patterns on them, which I'm not a big fan of. I just want like a solid gray couch that isn't super, super modern looking. It's just like a neutral, like what I would see in like an average family home, and we don't have anything like that, and I don't know why not. Like, some of the couches in the game I literally never use because they're just hideously ugly. This couch in particular I really, really like that's the kind of style that I'm going for, but the curved armrests aren't quite my thing. I mean, like, they're not terrible, but I would have preferred something that had like a little bit more of a contemporary look to it, but I don't know. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I feel like a lot of the couches that we've gotten, they look like they have like a plastic or a wooden shell to them and then cushions placed on top. And I don't like that style so much. I would rather it be all fabric, or like they're like wooden benches, which are fine for like accent seating, but I'm not gonna sit on a wooden bench to watch TV for several hours in the evening. Like, that's just not something I want to do. So I prefer to have like a couch that's a little bit cozier looking. But so anyways, so now we are on to the master bedroom, where I continue my theme of warm colors. So here we went with like more of like a red and like a dark brown kind of theme. So obviously the bedding is red, and then I wanted to use, because this is a huge master bedroom, when I was doing the floor plan, I didn't really know what else to put down here. There wasn't enough space to really justify making another bedroom on the first floor. But the way that the house was laid out, I definitely needed this to be like a master bedroom, because I wanted it to be a 3-bedroom house, and upstairs there just isn't room for 3 bedrooms. So I went with kind of a larger master bedroom. I do put in an office space over here kind of near the front of the house. It's a little bit of a strange shaped room, unfortunately, but I needed to allow room for a hallway, so that's why it's kind of an awkward shape. But in all honesty, like, what else do you need in an office besides like a computer and a desk and maybe a place to sit? I threw in the aquarium just because, I don't know, I liked the aquarium. I thought it was a nice touch. I tried to find actually a spot to put a bookcase, but I couldn't find one. But there is a bookcase in the master bedroom next door, so like, if you want to read, it's not that big of a deal. You just walk one room over and hey, look, you found a book. I also thought this would be a fun spot to put the family, what's it called, like the family bulletin board or whatever from Parenthood. That's something I usually try to put in the kitchen area, but the kitchen doesn't have a ton of wall space, so I went with the office instead. And so upstairs I do 2 bedrooms. The first up here is kind of like a nursery / toddler room. And again, I tried to stick with like the neutral color palette. Well, I tried to go gender neutral, but with a warm color palette. So it took me a little while to figure out kind of what wall coverings and what bedding I wanted to use. But I think it turned out really nice in the end. So there's a lot of like yellows and browns in that room. And then this next room is going to be like a kids/teen bedroom. It's probably closer to like kid than teen because there's like the kids science table and a dollhouse and stuff. But I sort of think maybe more of like an older kid because there's also like some string lights, which I don't know why. I always associate those string lights with like a teenager. I have to say, to be completely honest with you, this bedroom is not my favorite. There's just not that much kids stuff in color palettes that aren't like ostentatious. Like everything is so it's just so over the top and bright, and like that's just not the vibe I was going for with this house. I definitely wanted the dollhouse because it's a brown dollhouse just like this house. I mean, it's a different style obviously, but same colors, so I thought that would be nice. But then I don't know, I just couldn't find things else that I wanted to put in it, and I don't know, it's just not my favorite. So if you guys download this house and you hate that bedroom, it's fine. I don't blame you because it's not my favorite. The rest of the house I really, really love though. Like the master bedroom is gorgeous. I love that bedroom. I wish we had more kids stuff that was not super bright in color. Like everything that came from kids room stuff is really, really bright. There is some stuff from Parenthood that's like not quite so over the top, but there's not enough of it that like matched or went together. So now I am just going through kind of putting in some finishing touches on things and curtains and decorations and all that fun stuff. I do decide to, yep, here I go. I'm changing the layout of the kitchen to give it a little bit more counter space. Not a ton more, obviously, but because it's not a very big kitchen, but enough. So there isn't really room for a dishwasher. I try to put a dishwasher in, but I didn't want to use all of my available counter space that I could use for food prep for, like, you can't have a dishwasher underneath a sink, and so I'd have to have one tile for a dishwasher and one tile for a sink. And I was like, because I don't know, it's just a beef that I have. I don't like having a dishwasher being the only counter space that's available for food preparation, because let's be real, if you're playing with multiple Sims, inevitably there's going to be one Sim who's going to try to make food and another Sim who's going to try to do dishes, and then one of them is going to stop and one of them is going to get upset and wave their hand or stomp their foot or whatever, and it's just kind of annoying to me. So I try to make it so that if I have a dishwasher, that there's still an extra like counter space for food prep or for like a serving dish to sit on. I don't know, it's just one of those little things that just sort of irks me, so I try to make sure that I, set up my kitchens that way. But since it's such a small kitchen, there's a sink, but there's no dishwasher. But that's okay. I mean, like, let's be real. We haven't always had dishwashers in The Sims 4 anyway, so, like, it's not the end of the world. I mean, obviously, it's better to have a dishwasher. Like, don't get me wrong. If somebody came up to me and was like, hey, in your kitchen, you don't have space for a dishwasher, is that okay? I would be like, oh, no. Do not take away my dishwasher from me, because if not, I would just not do dishes or switch to like disposable plates or something, which is not good. It's bad for the environment, so I don't want to do that. Oh, and then I found this plate from the Parenthood game pack that has like oranges and browns and like kind of like fall flowers looking on it, and I was like, perfect. And then what else did I do? Oh, I also found in the debug menu the blank pumpkins from the Spooky Stuff, I believe, the Spooky Stuff pack, before they got carved into like jack-o'-lanterns. So I used that as decoration for the living room. And what else? So like once I remembered to turn on the debug cheat, I was like, what else is in here? And I went a little nuts. So like I found like a watering can that I don't know, or like that picture there that's normally supposed to be on the family bulletin board. But I was like, ooh, this could be a pretty wall hanging. So I put that up, and I use a lot of like the wall decorations in especially the bedrooms upstairs. Oh, there are the pumpkins. Look at them, they're so cute. So like we do have some I can't talk. Some fall stuff in the game, just not a ton. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Something, I don't know if it's the house or the lot that this is on or what, but something about like the way that this house is set up, the way that the light comes in through the windows, it's so like perfect and cozy. And actually, you'll see this in the screenshots at the very end. The very last screenshot is a screenshot of this house in the morning, which may not sound like a big deal, but if you are a builder or if you upload regularly to the gallery, you know that most of the time when you switch the lighting scenario to be morning instead of afternoon, everything has like this blue washed out color to it, and it's just gross. And I don't know if this is a Brindleton Bay thing or if it's this lot in particular, but I put it on morning and I was like, wow, this is so pretty. Like it suits the colors, become like really warm and vibrant, and it's just so gorgeous. So I put that screenshot in at the very end, so be on the lookout for it. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I just can't quite explain it. There's just something about this house. It's just, I don't know. A lot of the time people will say that like winter feels magical to them, and I don't disagree. But for me personally, I think autumn or fall is much more magical. Like, I don't know, there's just something so pretty about like if you think about it, and I'm gonna go real dark here a second. Well, maybe not real dark, but dark. If you think about it, when a tree's leaves start to turn colors, that's a signal that the tree is slowly, temporarily dying for the next several months. But what a way to go, you know? Like, the leaves turn into like these beautiful, vibrant reds and yellows and oranges, and then the tree just goes dormant or dead basically for several months. So like, it's like the most beautiful farewell party, you know? And it's like the last chance that you have to like really go outside and do outdoor activities without getting frostbite or, you know, I mean, like winter, obviously there's a lot of outdoor activities in winter. I was a figure skater, I should know. But I feel like the accessibility to do those things isn't quite as easy as it is in fall. Especially like early fall, you can still do quite a bit outside in early fall, and it doesn't really bother you at all. You know, like, yeah, it might not be quite as warm as it would have been in the summer, but it's not bad. You can do it. But I don't know. It's just, for me personally, I think that it's just so pretty. And now I've rambled on about how sad and beautiful fall is for way too long, so I'm going to stop. So now I'm upstairs just decorating the nursery / toddler room. I couldn't remember those tree decals, which I've used many times before, and I was just drawing a blank. I thought they came in cats and dogs, but they didn't. But then, when I was digging around, I found bird feathers, which I totally forgot that that's a collectible item in the cats and dogs expansion. And so, when you hang them up on the wall, they become like that really cute, like, display picture where it's like a picture of the bird with the feather that your pet supposedly caught underneath. And I don't know, it's kind of a nice little wall hanging because it's almost educational in a little bit, and I kind of like that in like a very young kid's bedroom, like, oh, it's like a little educational tool. But I mean, it's not really, but it I don't know, I think it could work. So now I'm flipping around the dollhouse. I really wanted the front of the dollhouse facing out in the room. Excuse me. once more, I'm recording this way too late at night, which isn't actually all that late at all, but it is very late for me. Anyways, so I decided that having the dollhouse flipped around where you could see the front of the dollhouse as you walked into the room made the room feel very crowded. I don't know, I feel like I just don't vibe with this room. I don't know, something about like the bed and the sunflowers on the wall, but like at the same time I couldn't figure out how to make it better. I don't know, maybe in hindsight, maybe I should have done another room that was very similar to the master bedroom using a lot of the stuff from Cats and Dogs, because I know that there is a single bed from Cats and Dogs, but I don't know. I didn't want it to be too much like the parents' bedroom, you know, but so now I'm just placing some of those beautiful fall colored trees outside of the house, and I'm checking the gallery thumbnail because let's be real, sometimes you build a beautiful house and you go to upload it to the gallery and you're like, oh, okay, well, I've placed too many trees and can no longer see the house. This does not look good and no one will download it because they can't see what it is. Which, pro tip, well, not really a pro tip, but tip, if you are building a house, before you start, I highly recommend just drawing like a blank wall, just in one direction. Make it like, 4 or 5 tiles long. And then pretend, don't actually do this, but pretend to upload it to the gallery. Like do what I just did where you click and then just look to see what the thumbnail is and then X out of it. And like pay attention to things like, oh, there's like a random street lamp that's cutting through the middle of the picture. Or like the first lot that I was going to build this house on in Brindleton Bay is, ooh, it's not it's not this one, it's the other one. But like there are 2 lots that are empty that are near each other. This is the one that's that's closer to the top of the screen when you're looking at the map. The other one that's a little bit further down, for some reason there's like a tree, not actually on the lot, but a tree like in the other part of the world that you can't move, and it blocks most of the view. So like you can't really build on that lot if you want to upload it to the gallery because it's always going to have this tree blocking like half of the thumbnail. I really wish we could change gallery thumbnails more easily. I think there might have, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking of Sims 3, but I thought there used to be a way to do that, but maybe not. But yeah, so I recommend doing that too to see like, also just in general which way the front of the lot is, because sometimes like on this lot there isn't really a road, so it's a little hard to tell like which way is the front and which way isn't. But yeah, or like some of the corner lots, like there's one corner lot in particular in Willow Creek where I'm like, wait, which way is the front? And I've seen people build on it and they build their entire thing and it's sideways, and I'm like, no, you didn't check it. You should have checked the lot before you built it. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but like it does look sort of funny then when you go to upload it to the gallery, because like who wants to look at just the side view of a house? Like that doesn't even make sense. Also, you won't get as many downloads because people aren't going to investigate further to be like, oh, well, let me click on this random picture that I can't see half of and see if there's actually something worthwhile here. Like, no, they're just gonna pass it over. Like, I mean, let's be real. We've all seen some less than awesome looking lots in the gallery, and I'm like, they might have looked nice, but if the wrong part of them was facing the front, how would we ever know? We don't. So we just bypass it and move on. So anyways, there's some friendly tips on how to use the gallery or how to upload to the gallery. I don't know how I even got onto that topic, but what else is new? Anyways, so Autumn Abode is available for download on the Sims 4 gallery. You can get to it by either using the link in the description box below this video, or you can search on the gallery using my username, Mrs. Tomato 1018, or you can use that same hashtag. And anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, I hope you give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you can do so down below. I put out a new video every single day, Monday through Friday, and if you have already subscribed to my channel, I recommend turning on that bell icon so you can get a notification every time I post a video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!